welcome back to Your Mother's Tone. Today I'm talking to you about my 2018 Gibson Les Paul, which is a beautiful looking guitar. Right then I was just playing a song called Hope in Hell, which is being released. It may have already been released by the time this video comes out, I can't remember. But yeah, that's a song that this guitar features really fucking heavily on. In fact, I think it's the only guitar I play on that song. Don't like having my hair up. It makes me feel restricted. Like a fucking child. Right, there we go. I feel like a lion again. Fat lion. Anyway, this is my 2018 Gibson Les Paul Standard in this lovely, I think it's iced tea burst. Funky looking thing. I got it because I thought it looked a bit like a tiger. Which, you know, is what all guitars should look like, if you ask me. I love and loathe this guitar, I'll be honest with you. But I'll start with the things that I love, because, you know, you want to start with positivity and then get into moaning afterwards. So, things I love about this guitar, well, the sound. Sounds fucking great. It sounds like a fucking really classic Les Paul. The pickups are, I believe, just a 490T, which is the standard pickup, and it's got nothing digital in it. This is the year when Gibson went back to just doing what they're fucking good at. So it's got no digital PCB boards, it's got no weight relief, none of that. It's heavy as shit. It's just a proper Les Paul, proper fucking cool sounding Les Paul. The pickups are really nice. They're really sort of boomy. I'll be honest with you though, I am going to change the bridge pickup here for probably a Jeff Beck JB pickup. It's got a bit more of a mid-range kind of hump, which makes it stand out a bit better in a mix. I'm not going to bother with the neck pickup because it works, but I don't use it. You know, as I said in a previous video with my Stratocaster, I spend basically all of my time on the bridge pickup. You could really, in theory, remove the neck pickup from this, and I wouldn't fucking care, because I don't think I ever use it. Yeah, it's just too much bass, I guess, for me. Really, for the sound that I go for, it's quite sort of sharp and almost nasal-like, which is what I really like about the bridge pickup. The only time I really do any switcheroo is when I do some kill switchy kind of stuff. Which is not very often, but I sometimes do stuff like that for a bit of atmospherics. So what I do there to do that, for anybody that's wondering, is basically both of these pickups can be on at the same time. And what you're doing is basically turning the volume completely down on one of them so that this one is off. And then you're just switching between them, so you're using it like a light switch almost. So as you can hear, there's nothing coming out there because I've selected this pickup, but the volume's down, and then I go to the other one. Cool, right? This, as you can probably hear, is a lower tuning than my Stratocaster and also than my Ibanez. This is in D standard, which means it's got some really quite heavy strings on it. These are a hybrid set of 12s up to 60, I think. So these are quite heavy. But it sounds fucking monstrous, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Grover tuning pegs is what I meant to say, and a graphite nut, which is the only addition that I've made really. The reason for that is, I guess, the first one of my reasons for hating this guitar. So let's move to the negative shit. So when I first got this guitar, it just would not stay in tune at all. I had really heavy strings on it. I tried having it set up by different people. Nobody could figure it out. Nobody could like get it sorted until I took it to a guy called Johnny, otherwise known as the guitar surgeon, over in Wigan. And he performed his magic and managed to get it to stay in tune. Don't know why other people found it so difficult, but he swapped out the nut for a Graphtec one, graphite Graphtec, and then just did some other mad shit, I don't know what, and now it stays in tune really well, which is great, because, you know, there's nothing worse than a guitar that's gone out of tune, or that you have to retune in between, you know, recording takes. It's a pain in the arse. And that moves me on, I guess, to point 2, the reason why I don't like this guitar, or the reason why I hate it as much as I love it, I guess. These are $2,000, right? And I had to spaff my load to coin a phrase from our Prime Minister's parlance on my credit rating to get this, right? I had some money, put some money down, financed the rest over like 3 years or something. It's $2,000. And when a guitar is $2,000, you want it to stay in tune. You also don't want the paintwork to just blemish at any sign of, you know, wear. So, for example, the binding, which is the sort of this stuff here, I don't know if you can see that. It's sort of like a nice white or cream border, I guess. That stuff on the neck has started to blemish and go shit. There was problems with the paintwork when it arrived. And other stuff that, like, I don't mind. Like, I love guitars to have character more than anything, right? And one day this will be full of scratches and it'll be all worn and stuff, and that's great. But I expect it when it comes from the factory, you know, when I spent $2,000 on it, I expect it to stay in tune. I expect it to be made of the highest fucking quality, or to the highest quality rather. And I don't expect the neck to break if you just look at it a bit angrily, which feels like what would happen with this. I have broken the neck before by literally fucking not even dropping the guitar. I put the guitar on top of my case, went for a slash, came back from having a slash, tripped over something, I think I had a few tinnies, slipped over something and ended up knocking the guitar, and the headstock only, not even the main body of the guitar, fell about 3 inches off the case and onto the floor, and it snapped. Snapped is the wrong term. It had a massive fucking crack in it, and obviously wouldn't stay in tune. You know, it was broken. It was fucked. Fortunately, just down the road from here is a really well-regarded luthier and guitar repair shop called Jack's Instrument Services, and I took it to them. And they glued it all back together. They made it all singing, all dancing. But you know, you feel like if you're spending this much money on an instrument, you know, it should be the best it can possibly be. And it turns out that the reason why this neck broke isn't just because I'm a clumsy fucker. I mean, it is that, but also because Gibson have had a really poorly designed neck joint, a headstock joint in these guitars since they were created, and they've never fixed the issue. And it's really fucking common to have Les Pauls, SGs, anything with the sort of open book headstock, really common to have neck breaks. So if you're like in the market for a Les Paul or an SG or whatever, and you're going, oh well, the neck's broken, or it has been broken, it's been fixed, fear not, they all fucking break. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we've got that fixed. It's set up in D standard. It's a great guitar. It looks fantastic. I mean, it just looks rock and roll, doesn't it? Nobody ever you can't not look cool when you've got a Les Paul in your hands. Do you know what I mean? There's people watching this going, unless you're wearing that kind of shirt, Toby, you will look uncool. You do look uncool. You have to be kind of recognisable though these days, don't you? You have to have an image and a pastiche and all that kind of bollocks. I feel as uncomfortable wearing a shirt like this as you feel watching me, so don't worry about it. Let's just move the fuck on, shall we? So yeah, I'll give you a bit of a playthrough, and then we'll be done, and you can fuck off and do something, you know, more productive and more interesting. So Neck pickup, again, barely use this, but we'll show it for shits and giggles. Really, really, really warm. You know, if you're playing with less gain. I've been playing one of my other guitars with lighter strings all day, so you have to get kind of used to the heavy strings again. Like sleep and stoner rock riffs, you know, when I've got this kind of guitar. Middle pickup, so that's both of these two combined. I can't really tell the difference between that and the neck, to be quite frank with you. But as I say, I don't use them anyway. Bridge pickup, I'm going to give some souse for this. That's where it comes into its own. When you give it that sort of some mid boost, this guitar really starts to scream, which is why, as I say, I'm going to get another pickup for it to give it a bit more of that mid-range bump. But yeah, here she is in all of her finery. My 2018 Gibson Les Paul Standard, codenamed Duchess.